Hi guys, Ashura here, and in this video I shall be talking about my thoughts on chapter 858 of One Piece, Meeting. Now, this chapter contained a lot of information and it also brought back characters we haven't seen since chapter 834. So, this chapter is a huge chapter with respect to that. But having said that, there wasn't much story progression in this chapter. That kind of let it down, but Oda brought back the letdown by including a lot of fan service. So overall, this chapter was a pretty good chapter. Now let me actually begin the review of the chapter. Now this chapter begins with the preparation of the wedding cake, and we get to see that the wedding cake is in its final stage of preparation. We get a new character introduction in the head cook. His name is Trucid and his rank is the Gourmet Knight. Now Oda has shown a clock in his attire, so I believe that Oda is inferring that this guy is really working around the clock to make sure that the wedding cake is absolutely perfect. And the way he says that why couldn't we do a regular sweet one, but we had to do this with a lot of salt, those tears of regret, tears of all that, and all makes it a really special wedding cake. So I can't really wait to see as to how the wedding cake will look when it's finally completed. And the way Oda is putting it, it is going to make a huge impact on the wedding. I mean, there are theories floating around that the Tamako box, when opened, will destroy the wedding cake and it is gonna make Big Mom go berserk. So all that will be in direct relationship with the wedding cake. I also did a theory way back in my very first video about the wedding cake and all. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how the wedding cake turns out and how much of an impact it really does on the wedding. After this, we are reintroduced to Peckhams. Now, Peckhams is seriously injured and he's recuperating with the care of the Fishman pirates. Now, the Fishman pirates are continuously insisting Peckhams that he has to stay here. Now, this is making Peckhams a little more doubtful as to whether he can really trust Jimbei to deliver the message. And the lot of cargo imports and all that stuff that happened the previous night is really weighing on the mind of Peckhams. So ultimately, there is a very good chance that he will escape from there, even though he's being kept on a close eye by both Aladini and Praline. I believe that he will somehow make it out of there, and he is gonna break the news to Big Mom. This might upset the plans of Capone and Luffy a little, but I don't think that's gonna be a huge impact, but it might slightly tip the scales in the favor of Big Mom. So Peckham is seriously gonna be an important character as the arc moves along. From there, we are introduced to the Fire Tank Pirates' main base of operations, which is, even though a hideout, it is in plain view. I guess that is because nobody is really expecting Capone to betray them. We are seeing that Sanji and Luffy are the last two people to actually enter there, and they are greeted by Monster Gun Vito. And next to him is Chopper, who says, "You guys, I had a great bath. You guys should also take one." And Luffy's like, "Whoa, there's a wedding to destroy, and you want us to have a bath?" Like Vito is like, "Guys, if you wanna meet my captain, you have to take a bath. My captain is not gonna meet people who cannot even present themselves." That's what he says. So Capone really cares about presentations, and this actually forces Luffy and Sanji to take a bath. After this, we get a bit of fan service from Oda, where we see Nami and Carrot taking a bath, and they are talking to Lola's twin sister, Shafan. And she then tells them the circumstances in which Lola runs away. She tells them that even before the marriage of Lola's incident, the Giants were actually against, were not allowed it within the utopia. So giants had actually done something before to Big Mom, which prevented them from gaining entry into her utopia. Now this is actually interesting because Big Mom is a Yonko. What could the giants have done to piss her off so much? From there, we actually find out that the Prince of Giants Loki fell in love with Lola and he wanted to marry her, and this seemed as a good opportunity for Big Mom to get her hands on the best army in the world, and she readily agreed. And this led to Lola, who did not like the marriage, to run away. And in place of Lola, Big Mom actually tried to put Chiffon, and this was found out by the Giants, and the Giants said, "Look, we don't want to marry any impersonator of Lola. We actually want the real deal, or the marriage is off." And the marriage went off. Now, Big Mom was seriously upset, and she prevented anybody from any giants from entering her utopia again. And she really put a. When she was so angry with Lola that she wanted her killed, and she really mistreated Chiffon, who looked exactly like Lola, and this made Chiffon to uh, grow not very fond of her mother, and she was ready to Capone's plans when he said he's gonna kill Big Mom. Now, this sequence actually tells us a couple of interesting things. One, how Big Mom treats everything as a business, even the life of her own daughters, and if they piss her off, even if they look like the person who pissed her off, she's gonna mistreat them. This is seriously messed up. The second thing is the strength of the Giants army. Now the Giants army is something who's going to be seriously strong, and the if this major people of this army actually join the new Elba pirates who are part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, I don't know how strong the Grand Fleet will be. I mean, it's going to be seriously strong, so can't wait for that to happen. Now, after this, Oda actually does a little bit of milk promotion where he makes Luffy and Brook drink milk and it magically cures their cracked bones and heals their or brings back Luffy's missing teeth. Now, all this I know is done by Oda so that he does not have to draw a missing teeth for Luffy every time, but this scene was really funny, and he just wants the shonen kids out there to drink milk. From there, we have the meeting between Chiffon and Brule, and this really shows the resolve of Chiffon. And after that, we have quote unquote the meeting between Capone and Luffy. And this is where we are actually reintroduced with Caesar, and Luffy is the first person to actually identify him, which is pretty great considering the fact that Luffy couldn't identify through Sogeking's disguise. And uh, when Caesar says, "I'm not that guy, I'm some Gastino," Luffy actually believes him, and Nami corrects him by saying, "Look, Luffy, you were right on the first time." This is pretty much an achievement for Luffy, but this can be a little bit over the top here, and let me actually move on. From there, we have a small fight beginning to erupt between Luffy and Caesar, where Capone stops and says, "Look, Luffy, forget about that guy. Let me actually ask you one question directly to you. Are you gonna join hands with me or not?" And Luffy says, "I will, but one condition, I want to punch you first." And just before the fight actually begins, Jinbei interrupts and says, "Look, Luffy, he's an enemy of your enemy, so that makes your friend. That's what an alliance is, so let's have the alliance." And Luffy is supposed to agree with it and asks Capone what the plan is. So Capone says, "I have a perfect one," and there the chapter ends. Now, I believe that the reason why Oda ended this chapter exactly at this point is because he does not want to show the actual details of the plan. So I believe the next chapter will most probably directly be in the tea party, and we will have a skip of the entire plans and all. So it's gonna be interesting, the next chapter. Can't really wait for it. As to this chapter, it was really good chapter. I want to give this chapter an 8.5 out of 10. With this video ends. If you like this video, please like, and if you have not liked it, please do dislike. And if you want to be notified for my future content, please do subscribe. With this, Ashura the Demon signing off. Bye bye, guys.